Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. So on our Facebook group, I got lots and lots of requests to explain the making of this wedding dress. Now this dress was made by one of our graduating students at our fashion school here in Lagos. Yes, we train people physically. So I'll be explaining to us in details the making of this dress. Now different fabrics were used in coming up with this dress, okay, which I'll be explaining later, and then I'll also explain in details how to achieve the lower part of the dress, which I feel is what most of us are interested in. Now, to make this dress, the dress is made up of different blocks: the bodice block, the pencil skirts, and your panel tackle skirts. And also the back has a laced up closure. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about here. You can see that the zipper stopped at the waistline, and then from the waistline upwards the closure is laced up. Yeah, and the bodice has an inbuilt corset. Okay, so it's easy though, but it's not for the faint-hearted actually. Yeah, so this is the front view of the dress. Okay, and if you're going to make this dress, I advise you, for the flounce, which is the lower part, do not use satin fabric, because even with this organza it was a little bit heavy, you know, so satin will be very, very heavy. Now, speaking of the fabrics that were used, or the materials that were used, I'll be mentioning them one by one before we start the tutorial. So first of all, you have your bra cups that, you know, will be attached to the bodice, you know, to be able to give your bust its firm look, and it comes in different colors. So sometimes this comes in white, and in case you don't know, you can't find your size, you could actually do that. I did a tutorial on how to do that. Check the link in the description box. Okay, then you have your boning. The boning gives the body's structure, and of course you have a crinoline. The crinoline was attached to the flounce on the dress to give you that wavy look. I have done a detailed tutorial on how to attach crinoline to a flounce. I'll also be dropping that in the description box. Then of course you have the lace fabric. So for the lace fabric, there are so many beautiful designs in the market, so just go for something very nice, unique, and really beautiful. And finally, you have your satin. So the satin is going to be an underlay for the lace, and it's going to be what will be carrying the flounce. Okay, it's going to be like the support for the flounce on the skirts. Okay, so let's get started. Now, for the upper part of the dress, it's an off-shoulder bodice with corset. Like I said, I have done a tutorial on how to draft a bodice with corset, even the full sewing. You can check that in the description box. Okay, then you have the middle part. It's a pencil skirt, your basic pencil skirts basically. Okay, then now the lower part, which is the main drama, okay, is a circle, a panel circle skirt. So I'll be showing us the back view. So this is her here. She's looking all stressed up here already. So this is the back. So you can see that the skirt, that's the lower part, is high low. Okay, the train at the back is longer than the front, so it's definitely a high low. So I'm taking my time to explain, you know, so by the time I start doing the tutorial or the illustration, you understand better. So the skirt on the lower part there is made up of flounce, and the flounce, we used organza fabric to do the flounce. And did I say we? She actually she made it by herself actually. Yeah. So for the lower part, this is it here. You're going to cut out a half circle. Okay, now like I said, the flounce was made with organza. Yeah, so we're cutting the basement for the flounce now, which is a half circle. So you fold your fabric into two like this. Okay, and then you fold again like a triangle. Now I have done several tutorials on how to cut a half circle. Just check through our videos. I've done that severally. So you fold your fabric into two and then into a triangle. The next thing now is to measure the circumference of your knee, or better still, after sewing the dress, the pencil dress, you measure the circumference at the hemline. Okay, then you find the radius. Okay, so you find the radius, and then the length of the circle skirt now will be the longest part of the skirt. Okay, I said the skirt is a high-low skirt, so obviously the back length is the longest. So that is what you will use to cut out the circle. Okay, so let me assume that this is the longest length. This is not a calculated illustration. Okay, meaning I didn't measure it to accuracy. Okay, so this is my half circle. Okay, so you cut out the half circle. I am illustrating the lower part of the dress, please. So you cut out the half circle like this. Okay, then obviously the half circle is made up of the front and the back panels. Now I will divide this into two, so that one part would be for the front, the other part would be for the back. Okay, and yeah, so the joining of the circle to the main dress now is going to be on the sides. Okay, so I'm going to divide this into two, like I said. So one part for the front, one part for the back. So let me label front F, back B. Okay, I like to label, yeah, so that I don't get confused along the way. Okay, so now I mentioned earlier that it's a paneled circle skirt, so we have to divide the front and back into panels. Now I will divide here into three. That's the top part, 3 equal parts, please. Then the lower part too, you want to measure with your tape, measure it and divide it by 3. So I'm assuming this is 12, so that's like 4 in 3 places. Okay, then I will link that to the markings at the top. Now I have successfully divided this into 3 equal parts. This is just the front. This is just the front. Okay, so here, so this is front. I want to repeat the same process for the back too, but the front is high. When I say high, a high-low skirt, so the front is high. Now what you do is you subtract the length of the pencil dress, that's from the shoulder to the knee. You subtract it, okay, then measure what is remaining downwards, which should be your front floor length. Okay, then you are going to link that to the side. I hope I am making sense. I just hope so. Okay, so this is it here. So I am going to cut out. So by the time I cut out, I will still place this back on the back so that we can see. So placing it on the back pattern, you can see that the front and back are still equal at the sides. Okay, it's just that the front is high. That's all. Okay, so now I'm going to divide the front into 3 segments like we already did initially, like this. Okay, then I would also divide my back into 3 panels, like I said. Then like I also said previously, that there won't be any zipper at the center back. There's no joining, so I'll also divide the top part into 3 equal parts like that, and the lower part too, I'll be dividing it into 3 equal parts. Please, this is a tutorial, okay? Don't assume. Make sure you measure whatever it is you're doing. So I'll just link the points together like this. So I'm just linking them together like so, and then I will cut out. So this is where the work begins. After cutting out, you have to cut countless numbers of flounce that you'll be fixing on these panels. Now for the flounce, I think I have done like 3 different tutorials on how to cut a flounce. For your flounce, you can use a half circle, you can use a full circle, you can use the spiral method. There are so many ways of cutting a flounce, so I'll be dropping the links in the description box. You pick the one that is okay for you, or better still, if you want to use the circle method, you measure the circumference round. But before I do that, for the seam allowance, please, the inseam, you're adding 0.75, not 0.5, because of the bulkiness of the flounces. Okay, but side seam is 1 inch, 1 inch side seam, but the inseam you're adding 0.75. Okay, all right. So back to the flounce gist. Yeah, I said I've done several tutorials on that. Okay, so whatever method of flounce you want to use is fine, but you'll be cutting out several layers of flounce, and then you'll be attaching the crinoline to the flounce one by one. Okay, so like I said, you can do circle method, you can do spiral method, whatever method you want to do, just cut out the flounce basically. Then for the length of the flounce, you can do as much as 10, you can do as low as 6. I mean the length of the flounce. Okay, and the more the fuller. Okay, and if you're doing a full circle, you're going to have more folds, but you're going to waste fabric. So I would suggest you do half circle. Yeah, half circle will help you conserve your fabric the more. Or you can also do spiral method too, but just trust me, this is where the work is. Okay, so after cutting out your flounce, okay, I'm trying to cut a bigger piece with my paper. You know, this is just a tutorial. Okay, so I have a bigger piece here now. After cutting the flounce out, you would start attaching the flounce to each of the panels. So watch me. You're gonna start from the side seam here, then round like that. Okay, so like I said, you're adding 0.75 inch to the inseam, please, not half inch. Half inch will be too small. So you place the flounce, like, you know, you're gonna be sewing on the other side there. So you're gonna sew it half an inch. You sew it like that. When you get to the top part, that you curve it like you're sewing around a square, and then you sew it all the way down. If you want more fullness, you can actually do a gather, as you can gather the flounce to have more fullness, but be ready to work. So that is for the first layer. So you sew it round, then you place on that flounce again, the second one, the third one. Same thing for the second panel. You fix the first flounce, the second flounce, you can do the third one. Same thing for the third panel too. You fix in the first flounce round, you fix the second one round, the third one, you know, the more the fuller. So once you're done fixing the flounce on the front panels, you should do at least 3 or 4 layers each on each of the panels. So you now join the first 2 panels together like this, okay, and then the second one too. Make sure you use 0.75 seam allowance, please. So that's for the front, okay. Then you will repeat the same process to the back. Same thing, you fix the flounce round from bottom round top like that on all the panels, and then you join the panels together. Okay, so like I said, you should add more flounce, especially for the back panel. You should add at least 3 or 4 layers each. So you join them like this, and the other way around too. So after you finish joining the front panel and the back panels, then you will now be joining the front and back together at the side seam allowance is 1 inch. Okay, and you know, before you start all of this, you must have made your dress already. That's the upper part of the dress. So you'll be joining front to front, back to back. So this, you know, you'll be able to come up with this. So this is 50 yards of organza, 100 yards of crinoline. Yeah, just one hell of a job, but it really came out nice, and you can see the joy on her face and her colleagues. So these are the other wedding dresses her colleagues made too. Yeah, so thank you for listening to my tutorial. Bye.